What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls pregame coming up right around the corner. Bulls back in action, taking on Buzz City. Charlotte Hornets. Bulls got a win against them earlier this month. We'll take a look back at that. Look ahead to tonight's matchup. We got injury reports for both teams. Plus, Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah took a walk down memory lane earlier today. So let's all have a good cry. Coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls pregame presented by Coors Light. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That is Big Dave. Bow! BNWL Sports. Will, the GOAT Gottlieb, back in studio, perfectly coiffed. As always, Will_Gottlieb. We're into the controls, hanging out with us. One and only Katie Dubby. What did Goat just say?
She turned my volume down. She didn't mic check me before.
I did not turn your volume down. I turned down the music volume.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Do you want me to mute you? I will.
I probably deserve it at this point, but yeah.
Okay.
Good.
That was a flex from Katie.
That was.
She has the power as our
she
producer.
She has way too much power. It makes me uncomfortable.
It's the correct amount.
I don't think she has. Yeah, I don't think she has enough. She needs more.
No, Will's volume is all the way up because he whispers like this. So.
Dang, just attacking. See?
Well, I believe it was.
How's my volume, Katie?
I believe it was Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Good old Teddy, who said, "Speak softly, but carry a big stick."
That's right. Carries a big pen.
Maybe that's what Goat's going for.
That's right. Speak soft, but carry a big.
Goat's got a big stick. He can speak softly.
Because it's quaffing.
Being like a pen that he writes with.
That's right.
Good save.
That's what I said in the beginning. Speak soft, carry a big pen. That's what I said.
Shout out to Matty Legend, Gary Ross. Thanks for joining us, y'all. Julie, what's up? Colin, what's up? Who's excited for New Year's Eve Bulls basketball?
I am.
Wow. Big Dave is.
Yeah.
I am too. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's not bury the lead. The next chapter in a vicious, bitter rivalry of Bulls Hornets. I'm just kidding. We'll talk about their game tonight in a second. But for realsies not burying the lead, the Bulls released a video of D Rose and Joakim talking to one another in the film room at the Advocate Center earlier today on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
In anticipation of D Rose retirement night coming up on Saturday. And whoo boy.
Very curious of how you experienced this.
Oh boy. I was sitting at my desk at home, like waiting for the 3 p.m. premiere, and was there for the 60-second countdown and watch it. And then I was like in our CHGO Bulls Twitter account and literally just like live tweeting some of the quotes that stood out to me as, hitting me in the feels and very poignant. And it's, I mean,
chopping onions.
When you get D Rose and Joakim in a room together and hear them talk about the old days, there were lots of onions.
Yeah.
I don't even usually keep onions in my desk drawer.
Yeah, it's not like you. It's not like you.
Yeah. And, shout out, I think I saw our friend Miss Melissa in the comments, like the live chat, a bunch of Bulls fans who were there who were excited to see this as sort of like a little overture, a little appetizer to the major festivities on Saturday.
Can't wait.
And like the biggest takeaway I had, we could talk about, if you guys watch it and some of your favorite parts, it is just so apparent the love that Joe and Derrick have for one another.
Yeah.
Like brothers who went through battles together.
Yeah.
And they still, they were kind of joking about like how each other looked so much younger in a lot of these videos that they were watching together.
Like embarrassed that they said certain stuff or what they were wearing.
Yeah. But all these years later, and now they're just like retired family men and have different lives. But like when they connect like that, it's clear like, they still forged in fire, that relationship.
Yeah, man. I watched all of it. I didn't watch it live. I think I know I didn't watch it live. I know that. But I saw the whole thing, watched it, and just I think I tweeted a friend of mine like, dude, we got to get back to this. Like seriously, by any means necessary. We have got to get back to this because everything they're saying, obviously we're reliving because we all were there. and we all saw those things. But it was just really cool just to hear their perspective on things and just how wise they've all become, you know what I'm saying, within the age that they are now because of the things that they've been through. And you're right, Matt. You can definitely see their friendship when he was talking about the Hollywood is Hell line and how D-Rose truly broke down exactly what he meant by that. And how Noah was like, see, nobody understands that. Thank you. Nobody gets that stuff. It reminded me of me and you for a while I was watching that because I was like, yeah, this is definitely me and Matt stuff because Matt is definitely more fiery about it, and I'll probably be a little more chill about it.
It's like that old Key and Peele sketch, the anger translator.
Yeah, Luther, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it was like that when D Rose is talking about that insane level of confidence, I definitely relate to that. Mm-hmm. And
you really do have that insane level of confidence.
Yeah, it's a Chicago thing. I really think it's just a Chicago thing. But shout out to my family. But yeah, man, like just him speaking about that and how hard he works and the sleepless nights. I really related when he said how he worries about it the night before and then everything went away as soon as tip-off happened. I was like, oh yeah, I relate to that right there because once there's nothing you can control. After that tip-off happens, your confidence is what kicks in after that. And then I'm the greatest player on the floor. When he told him about the Windy City assassin shot, he said to Derrick Rose when I inbounded it.
Oh,
and
man.
Derrick Rose turned to me and was like, watch this.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
I had never heard Joakim or Derrick mention that part of the story before. Of one of those most iconic Rose moments.
Amazing.
He said to Joe as he was eating, watch this.
Yo, dude, watch this. Watch what's about to happen. So it was great. Also, how you mentioned the older teammates that he had. The birthday party on the plane, I thought was some real great insight. Also, into the relationship of the team, period. Was great, man. But
they were both so excited to see a younger James Johnson boarding the flight on that one little clip.
Who is excited for that?
Like, yo, JJ!
They are. That's who's excited.
You don't get excited. You want to be on the right side of James Johnson.
Yeah, man. I don't have to lie to him, though. He respect the honesty. But I don't know him like that. Shout out to James Johnson.
But I thought it was cool that it was like obviously centered around Derrick. Derrick's the guy. But how can you separate that era?
Yeah.
How can you separate Derrick from Joakim? They're foils of one another. And they talked about like the balance of Joakim being the like brash, not arrogant, but the one who would say it. Yeah. And Derrick
called him verbose. Joakim's a little more verbose than I was. Yeah.
And they were just, it reminds me a lot of like Steph and Draymond, right? Where it's like the quiet, the strong, silent type.
Yeah.
And the like, bravado and the just different sides of the same coin. That confidence just displayed in different ways. Yes. And how can you talk about that era of Bulls basketball without bringing up both of those guys? And so for there to be moments where, they were talking about Joakim's dunk against the Celtics in that playoff series. They were talking about Joakim's the way he dressed on draft night. Like I think obviously January 4th will be about Derrick, and for good reason, he deserves that. But it was cool that in that moment, not only were they talking about and celebrating Joakim, but that they were also allowing Joakim to be like the host of that, right? There's something about those two in their relationship that like you're not going to get that same level of detail and introspection if it wasn't Joakim sitting there and asking him the questions.
Absolutely right, man.
I think I completely agree with that because when they were younger, like the beginning of that video is D Rose walking in, Joakim's already sitting down, and he says, how you doing, big bro? Like Derrick always saw Joakim not only as his teammate but as his older brother, his protector. And Joakim always, whether it was media criticism from other players, fans, whoever, always was the one to step in front of Derrick and take the brunt of that and say, y'all don't know what you're talking about. Y'all need to shut your mouths. And because Derrick was a more silent, stoic type, even in that epic Game 3 buzzer beater and jumping into Joakim's arms with that just deadpan face of Joakim, he was like, you plan on making that face? He's like, no, it's just like how I felt in the moment. Like, yeah, what y'all gonna say now, right? What y'all gonna say now?
And then they were like, and then LeBron hit one.
Right, and they were like, that hurt. But you love that stuff. Like the insight of it was just amazing to sit and listen to, man. And you're right, the genuine love that they have for each other. D Rose was, and it's because he's older and things he's been through, he's much more reflective and much more open to have a discussion with everybody because he wasn't like that before. But now he is, I love when he talked about New York.
Oh, yeah.
When he said that about New York, man.
I didn't expect that. Better. That was one of the parts that surprised me. He was like,
I want to be here.
And he was watching a video of young him on draft night. He's saying, look at me. Look at me. I'm mad. I'm mad that I'm there.
Right. I'm upset that I'm here. That's the level of insanity I like. Like, I'm upset. I'm about to be the really number one draft pick in the NBA, and I'm angry.
But I'm stuck in New York instead of in Chicago.
And I hate it. He's like, yeah, we went out the night before. I hated it. I don't like anything about it. So I thought that was just great to hear. Joakim seeing his grandfather and his old clips was really great to see.
Sipping on vodka OJ at the draft.
Vodka OJ, yeah, that little detail right there, that's awesome stuff, man. Like, yeah, they gave awesome details to all these important, huge moments in Chicago, talking about Dragic and how Dragic always talks about this dunk.
You kidding me, Dragic?
Yeah, right. And how Dragic likes talking about it, but he's also like,
he's absolutely right. When Dragic signed with the Bulls, that came up in the first press conference that we did.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like happy to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of him now. Like, it is what it is. And
I really enjoyed covering Dragic, by the way. He was great.
That's a flex. And yeah, man, like Derrick Rose, I enjoy him letting people in, talking about where his family was when he got drafted and how they weren't in a great spot financially. Like he said, a recession was going on.
2008 recession.
Yeah, man, that was happening right there. So that, for me, just added to the mindset of him, because that's immense pressure to be putting on a young fella. Huge. Because he's like, nah, man, there's no way I'm about to let my family go through this, and I'm able to do it. Usually guys do that, and they'll party, and it weighs on them. It fueled him.
Yeah.
It made him even more crazy. You know what I'm saying? To go harder on the floor for the Chicago Bulls. It was great.
I mean, two iconic Bulls who clearly family means so much to them. Like you mentioned, Joakim seeing his grandfather in some of those old videos from his draft night. And then, like, when I saw Derrick hugging his mom, Brenda Rose, in his draft night video clips that they showed, like, that immediately, as a Bulls fan, snapped me right to his MVP speech.
Yeah.
And the part where he gets choked up talking about his mom and, you know, the way that I play the way that I play and her hard days compared to my hard days. And like all of that stuff, like you were just saying, like, God, we need to get back to that as Bulls fans. Like, when we had these characters that were so easy to root for, who put on for the city of Chicago and for the Chicago Bulls, like, it was, there's a reason that Bulls fans, whether they were watching that video earlier, the people hanging out in our comment right now, like, get choked up by that stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, those two guys represented, since the dynasty, probably the two players who Bulls fans connected to the most as guys who were leading this team to wins.
Yeah.
And we're out there playing for all the right reasons every night.
Yeah, man. Like, and then, of course, the actual connection of Chicago, and Joakim Noah even understanding that, because he's not from it, but that dude knows and understands that kind of connection to your city. And Derrick Rose, man, it just is so Chicago is crazy. And it's the best thing ever, man. Like, he was saying some Chicago stuff in there. If you know, you know. Like the 5 Ps that he dropped in there. If you know, you know. And it was just really great. Like, sitting there watching him do that and pulling out his phone and just getting a video of it. You know what I mean? Just so he could see it. Oh, my gosh.
That made me tear up, is when he pulled out his phone to record
the
birthday video. Obviously, like, you know, he could find that on his own, but he's like, no, this moment is special.
This moment is special.
And, like, I need to record this on my own phone. That,
you better preach, Katie. That is the fact right there. Like, so this just makes me more excited even more for January 4th to see that and to just have all the feels that are going to happen. But more than anything, that's all I kept saying is, oh my God, we got to get back to this some kind of way, man. Some kind of freaking way. We got to get back to this, man.
Oh, there you go.
You got to get back to this, dog. You got to get back to this. Like, this is crazy. They're too good. It's the Bulls, man.
And I want to spend a second on that, because I think you're absolutely right. We're talking about Derrick Rose's MVP season. That was 2010-11.
Yeah.
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Last time, like, we were talking about the Derrick Rose bank shot against the Cavs. That is 10 seasons ago this year. 10 seasons ago. Like,
long time.
It's a long time.
Go look at the top.
They have not been, and I think a lot of times it's easy for us who sit here and watch every single game to get a little bit trapped in the moment.
Sure.
And understand, they're winning games. They're getting the play-in, but, like, where is that really? And then you think about, like, what they've actually done in the past, and, like, the, like, Chicago Bulls exceptionalism of, like, this organization has 6 championships. This organization had an MVP. Like, they're so far away from that.
Yeah.
And, like, they
got to get back.
They got to get back. I don't know what they are doing, but they are so far away from that.
They got to get themselves back to this, man. Like, it felt so good just watching that. Like, knowing how hard those guys played for this city every freaking night.
and the electricity in the city of Chicago, in the streets of Chicago,
It
not
means
just coming in and pouring out of the UC, but literally you just see anybody else in the city walking around with Bulls gear on, and you're like, yo, let's go.
Let's go.
You know, you give them a nod, you give them, like a power fist, you give them like, or you might even just stop and talk to them. Like, yo, last night's game.
Yeah.
It's different.
You see the games? How me and Fred met.
Yeah. We got to take a quick break to shout out our friends at Coors Light. When we come back, we'll quickly wrap this up and then dive into tonight's action. Buzz City. Can't miss it.
Help!
Wow.
Beer! Oh, embracing chill. That's what I'm over here doing. Embracing some chill. And you can do the same thing by cracking open a frosty cold Coors Light, because between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder we're more worked up. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Why not turn that rained out barbecue into the Will to Go Gottlieb and Will Purdue 4th annual karaoke house party New Year's Eve edition? Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for a cold Coors Light. It's that mountain cold refreshment, because when the mountains turn blue, oh yes, you know what to do. Cold lager, cold filter, cold packaged for a smooth finish. So when you embrace chill, it's a good time to crack open a frosty cold Coors Light. That mountain cold refreshment is crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of those times to choose chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, a golden
Colorado.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That was a better Colorado than we had the other night when Matt burped in all of our ears.
Oh, you missed that. Yeah, it was.
I didn't burp in your ear. You're over there. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Do you see the headphones that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
She's
I transitively burped into your ear. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be less awkward to do it that way and still in rhythm of the finishing the ad instead of like choking it back and hiccuping or choking or.
I had no problem with it. It was great.
It's
pretty amazing.
You gotta keep the people entertained. I'm not gonna be belching on our program every night now. It was a one-time thing. It's a one-time thing.
Kids tuning in saying, the 21 and over kids tuning in.
Oh, goodness. Woodage in the comments said that Rose was a silent assassin with explosive athleticism. He sure was. Also saying that Noah was the emotional leader of the Bulls. I think that's why that tandem was so well loved.
Yeah.
Julie saying when Derrick said, look at your kids, they look just like you. That part got me. Just how much time has passed and that they're still in each other's lives like that.
Yeah,
shout out to Colin who said, I didn't have time to watch the D-Rose Joakim thing yet, but I chose CHGO pregame over it. I'll probably hold back a few tears and watch it later.
Brilliant decision.
There you go.
Brilliant decision, sir. I think you
so we got a press release today from Bulls PR, and they kind of explained what's going to be happening on January 4th. I feel like we should just hit on that really quick before we talk about how cool it's going to be there.
Away,
Go for it.
But so obviously it's a celebration of Derrick's career. This is not a jersey retirement. I saw a couple of people ask about that in the comments. My guess is that will happen at some point in the future, but not this time.
I agree.
But January 4th, the players on both teams are going to be wearing themed shooting shirts to honor Derrick's time with both franchises, the Knicks and the Bulls. It will say 1/4/25, which is obviously the date, but it's also the numbers that he wore across his career. So
correct.
Where did he wear 4?
Knicks. He was 4 with the Knicks.
I think he wore 25 with the Knicks.
No, he wore 25. Yes, he did, but he also wore it with Simeon. So, but he did wear it with the Knicks. But he started with number 4 when he first got there.
So that's kind of a cool little Easter egg for you. But there's also going to be an installation in the atrium where they have a bunch of accolades and mementos, shoes on display to kind of show the story of his career, his logo, his brand, all that stuff, and obviously the accomplishments throughout his career. So I think that's gonna be really cool. And then obviously, we're gonna be doing a show there.
We're gonna be doing a
show. We're gonna be in a suite.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a very cool night.
It's gonna be an amazing night, man.
Did I read correctly that there was a hologram or something involved?
Is that right?
Yeah, there is.
Are they pulling a Tupac?
As part of the experience, fans can also leave a personalized message for Derrick in a digital guest book and take photos with a dynamic Derrick Rose hologram.
There it is.
Wow.
Slap.
There you go.
Bam.
Pulling out all the tricks.
And there's also going to be a commemorative Derrick Rose themed T-shirt that you get if you go to the building. But then also, if you join us, you'll also get some good merch with your package.
Get it
Merch.
CHGO basketball. This week takeover. Derrick Rose night, January 4th. Bulls versus Knicks. All in the building, y'all. It will be all of the feels. All the feels you felt watching that video and how we discussed it today. Imagine that times 1 million on January 4th, man. And come hang out with us in that suite. All you can eat, all you can drink. Dessert cart on deck. All of us is in the building, including 4-time champ Will Perdue, who will be there as well. It's going to be an amazing night. And like the GOAT just said, we will be doing a podcast from there. Proceeds will be going to Bulls charities. Some of the proceeds will be going to Bulls charities as well. So, yeah. And you can, if you're a diehard, save $100. Save some money off of that thing and come hang out with us, man. We are very excited to see y'all, man. This is going to be an amazing night.
It will be. And yeah, more people in the comments asking, as Goat just said, there is no official word yet that this is going to be a jersey retirement on Saturday. Just a retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because in the meantime, until they retire it, no one else is going to wear that number.
I was wearing it.
All right. So with that, let us shift to tonight's action. Bulls Hornets. Part 2 of their 4-game regular season series. Bulls took the first one back on December 13th. Y'all remember how beautiful that game was?
109-95.
109-95 was the final, and those were the amount of times that I collectively hit myself in my own head for watching that game.
109 or 95.
Both. Add those together.
Oh, okay.
Add those numbers together. That's the times I hit myself for watching that game. In case you
95.
forgot the highlights, the Bulls failed to shoot 40% from the field. That's okay. The Hornets failed to shoot 36% from the field. Bulls, 14 of 51 from downtown for 27.5%.
That's okay.
Hornets, shooting Chris Dunn numbers behind the arc, 17.4%, 8 of 46. These are 2 of the highest three-point volume shooting teams in the league. Obviously, you got Boston in the number 1 spot in three-point attempt rate right now. The Bulls are number 2. Charlotte's number 3. So we saw that. Plenty of attempts from both squads in that first game back on December 13th. Neither of them shot well. The Bulls shot a little bit better and came out with the victory, while both teams also turned the ball over a whole bunch. There was also no LaMelo for the Hornets in that game, just like there will be no LaMelo tonight.
Correct.
And no Vooch in that game for the Bulls, one of his few missed games this season. Jalen Smith got the start. Giddey and Ayo kind of led things for the Bulls in that game. Modest also, because the Bulls being shorthanded in the front court, had 20 strong minutes off the bench.
Yeah.
If you recall, 5 points, 5 blocks, 5 points, 5 boards, 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Great Modest game. Meanwhile, Brandon Miller got up some shots. He was 3 of 15 for the Hornets, contributing to that awful 8 of 46 number as a team. Mark Williams had a decent game, putting up 15 and 9. He's back in the starting lineup for them tonight. Miles Bridges, 14 points, but on a very inefficient 5 of 16 from the field, 0 of 6 from three-point range. They also tonight don't even have Brandon Miller, who was scratched, dealing with an injury. So your starting 5 for Charlotte is Vasily Micic, Seth Curry, Josh Green, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams.
Ooh.
That is a tank-tastic starting 5.
Tankerific.
It's tankerific. Bulls, meanwhile, I believe we see Julian Phillips making his way back into the starting lineup.
You are correct. With
Giddey, Kobe, Patrick, and Vooch. Zach LaVine, a late scratch with a sore toe that apparently, according to a tweet from Casey Johnson, is also bloody and bruised. He got stepped on the other night in the game.
Yeah.
So he went from probable to questionable to now out. And that's your Bulls starting 5.
Should be a basketball game that the Bulls win by a lot.
Basketball 2.
Yeah.
The Reckoning.
The Reckoning.
Yeah, man.
The Hornets are bad when they're healthy. This is going to be worse.
So they might be better? I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Seth Curry go off. I wouldn't be shocked at that. If you saw him just go off and hit a bunch of threes. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying it.
I mean, if there's one thing I learned from watching the Bulls between 2017 and 2020, it's that typically you get to 100 points. Somebody's got to score those points.
Somebody got to get it. Somebody got to get those numbers, man. So, yeah, I'm interested that Julian Phillips gets another shot in the starting lineup. for the Bulls. I'm curious as how many minutes Modest plays tonight. He's always the reason to tune in for the Bulls, especially in games like this when, the trash ball is going down. And I'm interested to see Jalen Smith is out too, correct?
He is available.
Oh, he's available.
He was questionable, but has been given the green light as well as Giddey. Io remains out.
That's interesting. I don't think Jalen will play a ton personally, but we'll see what he does tonight.
Why not? Just because
of the injury. Yeah, because of the injury that he had, and he hasn't fully healed or recovered from that. And I'm just not like, oh man, I got to have you tonight.
Yeah,
we play in Buzz City. You got to be out there. No, you can take some minutes off. Let's see some small ball lineups out there tonight, and have as much fun as possible that they can have. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, this is a game where you look at these teams below the Bulls in the standings, and you're like, okay. I mean, I'm not saying that Zach's toe isn't bothering him. According to Casey, it's bloody and bruised. That's great. But I was like, yo, if we can find ourselves a late scratch here or there, I that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
But
come on, you're playing a Hornets team that has no LaMelo, no Brandon Miller, no Cody Martin, Trey Mann is still out, Grant Williams ACL is still out.
Even if Vooch and Jalen Smith and Kobe, they're still winning this game. They're not even remotely close to this being competitive. I don't think. I mean, the Bulls are just way more talented than this team.
They are. We'll see who has the heart.
And you have to have the appropriate fear, right? That's a thing. Any team can come out and make 25 threes in a night.
Anybody.
But, I mean, there's no way they're losing this game. They should not lose this game.
Yeah, we'll see. See, Alex, there you go.
They should not. And look, I just mentioned Giddey had himself a pretty good game against the Hornets the first time around. Mm-hmm. He is coming off of arguably his best game as a Bull on Saturday night. In case you missed that one, Giddey went off.
He did.
23-point triple-double, 25-point, 23, 15, and 10.
Yeah.
Just a massive game, but also, more importantly, played really well on the defensive end. Including late down the stretch of that close game where the Bulls beat the Bucks. He was a part of that defensive stand that eventually led to P. Williams getting that way, that steal and breakaway down the other end.
20 points, Patrick Williams?
Tonight?
20 points?
He's back in the starting lineup.
Anybody?
Hometown team likes going against him.
He does.
Patrick was making his return from that injury in that December 13th game against Charlotte, so he came off the bench. Mm-hmm. So minus 15 off the bench. So I think he had 4 points. Can we see something better than that from Patrick Williams tonight? I wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't hate it.
Would it surprise – Amari's saying don't give him too much credit. Would it surprise you if they –
You have 4 points, dude.
Minus 15. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, man.
As Matt likes to say, sometimes they're 2 games below 500. Sometimes they're 4. But by the end of 2024 and by the start of 2025, guess where they're going to be?
Well, so
3 games below.
I mean, did you see that shout out to our guy Drew Stevens for the bigs. Always enjoy, but I've really been enjoying his tweets recently. Drew Stevens knows what's up.
Yeah.
He tweeted that, so this is the Bulls' final game of the year 2024.
Mm-hmm.
In the 23-24 season, the Bulls went 39-43.
Okay.
From January 1st to now, so back half of last season into this season, you know what their record is? 39-43.
I mean,
it's truly impressive. Truly impressive consistency of being just below mediocre.
It's basically the Austin Powers shot of him trying to back that thing out of the wall. And he's just going nowhere.
Getting that extra long golf cart stuck perpendicular in that narrow hallway.
The best, man. That's what this is. But
I mean, 29 teams are either going for the top or the bottom, and somebody's got to finish in the middle. Why not the Bulls?
Why not us? Why not us?
Oh, goat.
Bobby in the comments saying Kobe 40-piece incoming. Wouldn't mind to see that. Kobe also.
I wouldn't mind seeing that at all.
So he had a hot shooting night in their game on the 26th.
Yeah.
I think he hit, 5 or 6 threes. Then he had another cold one behind the arc, 1 of 5 on Saturday. But he was really aggressive, getting to the paint and attacking the basket, getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, spraying out to shooters. We talked about that a lot in postgame on Saturday. It'll be interesting to see what kind of Kobe we see tonight. Because Kobe can cook against this Hornets team.
And let's not forget Javon Carter, who came out and showed that he's already on fire and hot. So We'll see what because he's gonna play.
3-point champion of the Milky Way Galaxy.
Yes.
Javon Carter.
Correct. He's gonna get a shout out there, man. Torrey
That's
Craig
right.
too. He'll play as well.
That is about it for us. We are past that 6 p.m. hour Central Time. That means tip-off right around the corner. Thanks for joining us for pregame, y'all. Appreciate it as always. CHGO Bulls pregame presented by Coors Light. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done it yet. Don't make Katie buggy about it. She's great at it.
Spectacular.
And we will see y'all right back here for postgame after Bulls Hornets. Buzz City rivalry continues.
Yeah. Boozy badass. Shout out Amari. Let's go. Peace.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.